Good morning, students. Today our topic is Python string, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about format method and escape sequence used in Python string. So let us take them one by one. First of all, format method. So what is the use of format method? As the name suggests, format. If you want to format a string, then you can easily use a format method. In format method, we actually print different strings in different orders as our requirement or as the requirement of the questions. So let us take an example of format method. First of all, suppose there is a text and txt, it is a variable. It contains the string for only price colon 2f dollars. Now there is a string, you can easily see that, and within the sign of curly braces you can easily see that price is given, and after that colon sign is given, and then 2f is given here. What is the meaning of that? Price is actually a placeholder, and 2f means we have to give the price of a particular item up to 2 decimal places. Okay, then there is a print statement, you can easily see on screen, in which txt, that is a text dot format, because format method belongs to the string, that's why text dot format is written here. And after that we can easily see that parameter value is given, price is equal to 49. So actually after the execution of that statement, price is equal to 49.00 will be printed, because in previous statement we just give price colon 2f. It means up to 2 decimal places. F represent float value. So here whatever we enter the number, that number is shown up to 2 decimal places after the execution of that program. So that is the role of the format. It means that we just format a string according to the requirement of the question, or according to our choice, whatever we want to print in a particular format, that is shown using format method. So format is a method basically used to format a string. Now let us take the definition of the format method. So the format method format the specified values. Always remember that it format the specified value. Let us, before discuss it in detail, let us try to execute this program. It will give you a clear cut idea about what is the use of format method. You can easily see that. Just run the program. Now you can easily see that. Okay. So if you just change the value 2f to 3f, then answer will be up to 3 decimal places. Just like that, 49.000. So we just format a specified value in this case. So the format method format the specified value. Okay. So what is the output of this program? Output is 49.00. And why it is so? Because we give price colon 2f is here. It means f represent float value and 2 means up to 2 decimal places. And if we give 3 decimal places 3f, then answer will be in, answer is up to 3 decimal places. So it is up to you. And basically curly braces here shows the value of the placeholder. It is called the placeholder. We will discuss it in later on this video. The format method format the specified value and insert them inside the strings placeholder. Okay, as you can see here, that is given here, and the placeholder defined only within the curly brackets, and the format methods return the formatted strings. That is the concept behind it, and syntax is very simple. You just write name of the string, and then after put dot operator sign, and then after just format and value 1 comma value 2, and you may give any number of values. Here two values are given, so these are the parameters value. In previous example we just take only one value here, so that are the parameters values, value 1 and value 2, and these are required. At least one value should be given, and the value are either a list of the values separated by a comma, or a key is equal to value list, or a combination of both. So it may be possible that these are the values of a list, or values are given the key value combination also. Now that let us talk about the placeholder. The placeholder can be identified using the name index price here, and the number index is 0, or even empty placeholder. So there are three different ways to represent placeholder. First of all, just write the name of the placeholder, name of the index within the square bracket, price is the name of the index in this case, and you can also use numbered index, or you can also use even empty placeholder. So let us take an example to define all these three. First of all, let us see txt1 is the name of the variable, and here you can easily see that my name is fname. So here fname is a placeholder. I am age is again a placeholder, and then you just write format fname is equal to John. So fname, which represent first name, is assign a value John, and age is equal to 36. It means second placeholder age is assigned to be 36, and then you can easily see that as example number 2, my name is 0, I am 1, 0 and 1 are the index positions here, and format John and 36. So when you just write format John comma 36, so John is assigned to 0 and 36 assigned to 1. It means first and second element respectively. And in text 3, if you just see that my name is, and within parenthesis within curly brackets we don't specify any value here, I am, and again there is sign of curly bracket, and we don't specify any value again here, then format John 36, then by default John is assigned to first placeholder and 36 assigned to second holder, even if we don't mention any index value. So that is the concept behind the format here. And if you after that statement, if you just want to print all these three values, then answer will be in all the cases John 36, John 36 and John 36. So these are the three different methods to represent values using different mentioning. Name or index values in placeholder. You can easily see here. That is a program. Let us try to execute this program. Okay, save the program first. Now this is the answer. So these are the three different ways in which you can format a value using placeholder. That is the output of this program. Now I think you are able to understand what is going on here. So what you can use a value of placeholder to assign a name, assign different values to it. Just like in the first case, fname is a placeholder name of the placeholder, and we assign a value John to here. In second case, we just use index values, and in third case, it is by default first assigned to first value assigned to first placeholder, second value assigned to second placeholder. Now this is a small program here. X is equal to 5 and y is equal to 10, and we just print a statement using format. The value of x and y is format x and y, so it is the third case as we just discussed earlier. So now I think all of you are now familiar to this concept. So 5 and 10 are assigned to x and y. So the value of x is 5 and y is 10 will be printed in that case. It is easy to understand. I think there should be no problem in it. So we can specify the order in which the printed by using numbers tuple indexes. Now here is again an example. Print I love 0 within curly brackets. 0 is mentioned, it means first element, and 1 it means second element. After that put dot format bread and butter. So first element is bread and second element is butter, so answer will be I love bread and butter. But if we just write I love 1 and 0, so second element is assigned first and first element is assigned later on, so answer will be I love butter and bread. So answer is just reverse. So this will be printed according to the index value. Whatever you just print the index value within the curly brackets, that will be printed in your answer. So format bread and butter. Bread index value of bread is 0 and butter is 1, and in print statement I love placeholder contain 1 and 0 value, so answer will be I love butter and bread. Similarly, if we don't use index value and just give the name, then we can also print in this case different values. Just like that, print hello, name and greeting. Format greeting is equal to good morning and name is equal to John. So name variable contain value John and greeting variable contain value good morning, and we just write hello, name and greeting. The name and greeting are the placeholders, so answer will be hello John, good morning. If we don't mention within the curly bracket either the name of the variable or index value, then by default it is in a sequence. It means first is assigned to first and second is assigned to second. But if you just give the name of the variable or give the different index position, then answer will be printed according to that. That is the main concept behind it. And if we don't mention neither the name of the variable nor the index position, then by default first is assigned to first and second is assigned to second. It means assignment is always in sequence as far as format method is concerned. Now this is another example you can easily see here. Test the binary version of 0 is 0 and b. Now it is something different. So what is the meaning of b? B actually convert the number into binary format. If you give a number and you want to change it in a binary format, then it is also possible using format method. So you can easily see here the binary version of 0. 0 is a placeholder and 0 colon b. It means at that position, whatever we write, index position 0, whatever we write, that will be converted into binary number. And if you just write print txt dot format 5, then 5 will be converted into binary form. And as we know that binary conversion of 5 is 101, so answer will be the binary version of 5 is 101. Always remember that D character is used to convert a number into binary form. So always remember the syntax here. First of all, index position, and then after put colon sign, and then after that if you just write B as a character, it means whatever you write number at that position, that will be converted into binary form. Similarly, D is used to represent decimal number format. Decimal number format. So that if the number is given in binary form, then using D character colon D, you can easily convert that number into decimal format. So how can we differentiate that whether the number is given in a decimal format or in binary format? That is a good question. So first of all, we just write 0b. If we write 0b before a number, that means this number is considered as a binary number. Okay, so now this is the example here. You can easily see here txt text we have, and we just write colon D here. It means whatever is the value given in format, that is converted into decimal format. So print txt dot format, to represent a binary number we just write 0b, after that we give a number. And always remember that in binary number there are only 2 digits, that is called the bits, that are 0 and 1. So 101 is converted into decimal format, and the answer will be 5 in this case. So final output is we have 5 chickens. And you can easily see that one thing, that no position is given here before D, so we just write colon D in a placeholder. So value that is given in format will automatically convert it into a decimal format. And to represent a binary number, we just write 0b before that number. To tell the interpreter of the Python that this is a binary number, let us try to execute this program. Okay, that is the answer. We have 5 chickens. Try to change the value of that. You can easily see that 102 means it gives you an error. And why it is so? Because 2 is not considered as a binary number. There are only 2 digits in a binary number, that is 1 and 0. 102 is not considered as a binary number, so digit must be 1 or 0. So let us take another number, 111. If we take 111, that is easily converted. You can easily see that 111 refers for 7. Here we just take 3-digit binary number. You can take more than 3-digit binary number. According to that, answer will be shown on a screen. And so if we just don't write 0b before this, before binary number, that will raise an error. Now I think you are able to understand what is the difference between all these types of representation. So always remember that if you just want to print a binary number, write 0b before any binary number, and binary number should contain digit 0 and 1 only. We have 5 chickens here. Now use to convert a number into scientific number format with a lowercase e. You can also define uppercase e, that is also valid, but in that case answer will be in uppercase e. So here we just use a lowercase e. You can easily see that txt we have e chickens, so answer will be in exponential form, and print txt dot format 5. 5 is a number, and answer will be, you can easily see that that is the answer. We have 5.000 e power plus 00. So answer will be in exponential form after the execution of that program. And if you just give capital E, then capital E will be the part of that answer in place of small e or lowercase e. So that is the concept of a format method. Now I think you are able to understand the different types of format syntax here. Two important built-in functions are enumerate and len functions. As you can easily find out the functionality of len. Len basically returns the number of the characters of the string. And second one is enumerate. Enumerate is similar to the len, but only the one difference is there. It also returns the index position. So let us take an example to understand the concept of this. Let us take a string str is equal to cold here, and if we want to just use enumerate function, then we take a variable list underscore enumerate is equal to list, and we just give a function enumerate here. So list enumerate str, and after that a print statement is here. And if you just want to find out the length of the string, then you can easily write len, and within the square bracket name of the function str is here, and no parameter value is passed. So the final answer will be, you can easily see that since string is cold, then at 0 position C will be printed at 1 O, 2 L and 3 D. So actually all character printed with their index position. And as far as a len function is concerned, it gives you a length of the string, and the length of the string is 4 in this case, because 4 characters are there. So that is the difference between len and enumerate function. These are the built-in function, you can easily use them. So let us try to execute this. You can easily see that that is the answer. And show the focus on the representation of the enumerate function here. First of all, we just write list, and within the parenthesis sign enumerate here, and in enumerate within the parenthesis sign we just write name of the string here. That is the syntax of the enumerate. Next important topic is escape sequence. It is a very important topic as far as string is concerned. So if you want to print a text like he said what is there, we can either use single quotes or no double quotes here. This will result in a syntax error as the text itself contains both single and the double quotes. So what will happen after that? If the text contains both the single and the double quotes, and as we know that we always represent a string within a single quote or double quotation marks, so this will give you a syntax error. So here is an example, just you can easily see here. If you just write print he said what is there, and within double quotes is a part of that string, and we represent the whole string as within a double quote, so there will be a sign of syntax error. Syntax error will be there. The message looks like that, invalid syntax. And similarly, if you just write he said what is there, within single quote sign you just use double quotation mark, then there is also an invalid syntax shows on a screen. That means syntax is again in that case. So what is the solution of this problem? One way to get around this problem is to use triple quotes. So we just use triple quotation marks instead of a single quotation mark or double quotation marks. Our problem will be solved in that case. And second option is use escape sequence. You can use escape sequence for that purpose. So the escape sequence start with a backslash and interpret it differently. That is another option. So you have two options for this problem. First of all, just write double quotation marks if string itself contain single quotation mark or double quotation marks. And second is use escape sequence, and escape sequence always start with a backslash sign. So let us take an example again. You can easily see that now the string is in triple quotation marks. So he said what is there also contain double quotation marks. So since the whole string is you can see that whole string is within triple quotation marks, so there is no problem at all, and this will give you a answer. He said what is there. Now second option is escaping single quotes. Then you just write slash sign here. So it will not show any type of error here. That is the escape sequence, and as I told you that escape sequence always start with a backslash. Now after that it will not show any type of error. Case number 3, if you want to just escape double quotation marks, then before double quotation marks just write backslash. Then again it will not show any error. So all these three cases basically shows same output. You can easily see on the screen. In first case we just use triple quotation marks. In second case we just use escape sequence for single quotation mark, and in third case we use escape sequence for double quotation marks. Now these are the different escape sequence as shown on your screen. Double slash or backslash, and if you just write a slash with the single quotation mark, that is escape sequence for single quotes. Backslash with double quotation mark, escape sequence for double quotes. And if you just write slash n, then line will be changed. In that case slash t, tab space is there, and next is representation for octal values, and then XSH represent hexadecimal value for HH. These are the different escape sequence of Python. So let us take them one by one. First of all, if you just write like that, print C and double slash is here, Python 32 double slash lib, then it will show you the answer C colon slash Python 32 slash lib. And if you just write slash n in between the string, that gives you a line break. Now you can easily see that this is printed. After that slash n is there, and next statement in 2 lines is shown in next line. So there are 2 lines here, and these 2 lines is because of we use slash n here. If you use slash t instead of slash n, then there is a tab space between this is printed and in 2 lines. Next is hex representation. If you just write /x after a hexadecimal value, then it means Python interpreter convert this value into a hex representation. So 48, 45 and 58 are the decimal numbers, and these numbers are converted into hex because /x is written before these numbers. So for H represent 48, E represent 45 and X represent 58. So these are the different hexadecimal representation against 48, 45 and 58. You can easily see here. And if you just remove any one of them or just write any other number, then answer will be changed. You can easily say now HEY is the answer. So 48, 45, 58 are the decimal number, and we just write these decimal number just after the /x. Then it means that these numbers should be converted into hexadecimal. Here only a single character here. So these are the different representations. Let us try to change the values of this representation, and you can find different hexadecimal value against these numbers. Okay. Now just write two different string here and separated by /n here. /n is written between all these. You can see that line break is there. And if you just write /t in place of /n, then just execute this program, you can easily see that the tab space is there. That is the output. The last topic is a raw string to ignore escape sequence. If you want to just ignore escape sequence, then for this you just write R before double quotation marks here within the print statement, and escape sequence, all escape sequences are ignored in that case. You can easily see here, print this is /x61/n, a good example. So there are two escape sequence here. 61 represent A, so answer will be this is a, and next line is good example. So escape sequence are there and they affect the representation of the string. But if you just write R before this string, it means all escape sequences are ignored and these are printed as it is, as given in double quotation marks. So this is all about our today's lecture. I hope you are able to understand the concept of format and escape sequence now. Just do some programs on the base of these two concepts. It will give you a clear-cut idea about how to use them and what is the significance of these two important methods. So thanks for watching this video.